SEJUANI is one of the most underplayed tanks in League. She has a super long range engage, so much CC, and goes well with every single melee champion. But what if there was an even better way to play her? I have found a player that has discovered a secret OP way to play that has slipped under Riot's radar, receiving accidental buffs when Riot were trying to patch something else. He has also found a build that lets him do more damage than I have ever seen in League. This is an actual non-clickbait one-shot build. Oh, what's that? An in-game notification of an enemy getting a power spike? This is one of the amazing features of our sponsor today, Mobilytics. Mobilytics is a gaming companion. Out of game you have their stats, showing your strengths and weaknesses as well as areas you can improve. You also have a page for every champion, giving you a full guide with counters, combos and pro builds. Champ Select. Runes are automatically imported for your champion, making sure you never end up playing lethal tempo Nunu. Yes, it can happen. Yes, we lost. Please just download the app and save your LP. You get matchup tips for your champion to give you an advantage as soon as you start the game. In the game you get the notifications for power spikes, helping you see who on your team is strong, and what items to keep in mind when you engage a fight. You can track the gold difference per lane, even see enemy champion cooldowns to track if their ult is up. This is one of my games where I'm using Mobilytics. The enemy Kindred didn't have it. It's a bit of a huge jungle difference because of it. Download Mobilytics today from the link in the description. Get your companion to help so you can focus on the more important things. Back to SEJUANI. Her biggest issue when building tank is that all she can do is be a tank. All she does is engage, sit there and take damage, hoping that her team manages to help her. Our player today is named Grape and he's from EU West. His new build completely solves this problem while still letting SEJUANI be the huge engage champion she is built to be. Grape started playing League when it was the original mod, called Dota, over 11 years ago, so of course when it came out as a standalone game he jumped right in. He wasn't very good at the time, even compared to everyone else. He started in Bronze Elo. You would think swapping from a MOBA mod to a MOBA will not be too hard, but it took him multiple seasons to adjust to the different systems. Dota has a turn rate, for example, that makes movement feel completely different. Preferring the smoothness of League, he kept going, up to Silver in Season 2. Season 3, Grape discovered the concept of off-meta. He thought it was incredible and decided to create his own. Being a top laner, he played lots of top champs, so he thought he would try one out in a different lane. He went mid, trying to find a champion that could eat up all the farm and carry games. At the time, he chose to play the pre-rework, impossible to touch, Fiora. Using this unique style, he was able to improve all the way up to Platinum. The next season, he continued to develop the style. Season 4, he kept finding new strategies with Fiora mid, hitting Diamond for the first time. From there, he struggled to maintain motivation, then fell into a deep pit I like to call the Yasuo period. From mid Season 4 to Season 6, he one-tricked Yasuo mid. It was a terrible time, as you can imagine, and he emerged on the other side, still stuck in Diamond. But he did gain some pretty great mechanics and mid lane knowledge. His time chamber of training was over, and in Season 7 he moved on to the new Galio rework. While everyone else was figuring out the correct build, should he go tank, should he get damage, how does he even work? Grape picked an AP item, Hextech Gunblade, built him full AP, and rushed to Diamond 1 immediately. As usual with a new champion, Riot had lots of nerfs and buffs to Galio over the next year, so Grape got his elo as fast as he could. By Season 9, Grape was still spamming Galio, still playing a ton of mid lane. However, this season Riot removed the flash taunt mechanic from Galio W, as well as changing his AP damage to more of a scaling character, instead of one that can destroy your lane. So where do you go when your super high base damage champion is nerfed? Yep, to the Wikipedia to find another champion with high AP base damage. Browsing the pages, he stumbled across SEJUANI. At the start of the season, Riot had given her a ton of base damage buffs to help her adjust to the changes. These were meant to help her as a tank jungler. Really, they just made AP SEJUANI have a bit too much damage. So he tried it in some normal games. He got loads of kills, and yes, the damage was much too high. He tried it again. Still, damage really high. 25 games in a couple of days. Every one he was getting fed and one-shotting enemies. He knew he had discovered something special that no one else was using. Around this time, he joined an amateur team to play in tournaments. If you join a team and insta-lock AP SEJUANI mid, it's probably not going to be very well received by your teammates. So he kept it as more of a pocket pick, sticking with meta mid laners instead. When Season 11 hit, Grape was tired of wasting time on these meta champions. He had a special pick ready, and wanted to see how good it could be if he really tried. Having so much experience developing his old Fiora mid playstyle, he got to work testing. He spent a lot of time doing damage calculations in the practice tool, figuring out the perfect AP combo to surprise enemies, and adding in the perfect items to fit the playstyle he was creating. He queued up at the start of the season, unable to control his excitement. He forgot one thing: it was the start of the season. Countless dodges, flaming in champ select and griefing, all directed towards him because of his new pick. 30 games later, AP SEJUANI had a 25% win rate. He took a break knowing this would pass, or at least get a little better. This is League after all. Coming back in March, he pushed past the toxicity, right up to Master. If you want to try what may be the best one-shot build in the entire game, game, AP SEJUANI is for you. In lane at level 1, SEJUANI mid is no tank. He's not starting Doran's shield, Doran's ring, or even Dark Seal right away. He knows enemies have no idea what's about to happen, so he is ready to collect some free kills. He takes his W, this is his longest range ability, letting him start to poke enemies and grab CS at the same time. If he walks up with this ability, enemies cannot outtrade him. They get hit, slowed, and he just walks away. At level 2, Grape actually takes Q, immediately looking for an aggressive combo. Start your W, use the Q to CC them right before your second part hits, guaranteeing the second part will land and proc electrocute. Your Q knocks the enemy up, slows them, and he walks away. This is another combo enemies cannot deal with. They'll take a surprising amount of damage. And remember, SEJUANI cannot be slowed thanks to her passive, so it's very easy to get out afterwards. Every time you Q someone, you also get a free auto attack afterwards. This goes off automatically for some extra damage. At level 3, the enemy champion is now killable. Yes, already, SEJUANI's damage is high enough to kill an enemy. Even in high elo, the enemies have no idea. With the poke from the previous levels, Grape can choose to take a second point in his W for extra damage, doing a WQ flash combo to kill them as minions hit their tower. Drop an ignite, they're dead. You get first blood, their minions are dying to the tower, and you have a ton of mid pressure. Pressure is the most important thing to Grape. He maxes W and buys flat AP immediately, with Hextech Alternator to give him wave clear, killing caster minions with one ability. From this early game, the enemies have now seen his really high damage, so they need to start playing safe. Grape controls the lane, shoving minions in and moving to the river. He can help his jungler, roam, or even invade by himself. Once he gets level 6, if the enemy mid lane walks up to him, they're already dead. 70% health is nowhere near enough to survive against SEJUANI's burst as well as ignite. Using his special combo, Grape starts a trade with the enemy mid, looking like he's just going for some damage. The enemy is stunned with SEJUANI E, unable to move, then boom, the ult comes out, ignite dropped, and the enemy is dead. Every game, missing pings start coming out from enemies and his teammates. The enemy mid laner was stunned, he couldn't even dodge the ult damage. Grape's plan is working perfectly. Throughout the early game, Grape's goal is to do this as much as possible. If the enemy mid walks up when his ult is ready, he goes for a kill. Get a kill, recall, buy an item. Get a kill, recall, buy an item. Staying as strong as possible, getting a big lead, ready to dominate the other lanes. If the enemy mid starts playing safe, well, actually this never happens. They're always going to play aggressive because this is solo queue, and they have no idea what AP SEJUANI does. But just in case they play properly and do stay safe, his goal changes to roaming. Shove the wave with your W, using your Q is okay, but if you Q forwards you're then left without an escape and are very gankable, so W is your main wave clear. Run straight to another lane. Bot lane is the best. From here you can absolutely one-shot an AD carry or support from full health. Focus on the squishy target, land a long range ult from out of vision if you need to, and grab some free gold. Here, Grape buys Hextech Rocket Belt. It has one use on SEJUANI, and that is damage. The movement, it's great, helps you get in position or escape a bad situation, but we're the engager, the aggressive champion, that's going for a one-shot, so you want to mostly use it for the extra damage. Throughout this part of the game, keep making plays, keep a high tempo, do not let enemies set up for a team fight. Team fighting on AP SEJUANI is not your goal. Grape does not try to make team fights happen. He ideally wants to be in a side lane, looking to get a pick, get a one-shot with his ult, then join a 5 vs 4 fight with the advantage. SEJUANI, even the tank version, is quite useless without her ult, so never start a 5v5 fight without it. Use it to get a pick first instead. It's just like playing Fizz, lots of your damage is in your ultimate, so you can fight without it, but then you're forced to use your escape abilities for damage, putting you at a much greater risk. SEJUANI can only go in, so you need to make sure you have the damage to kill whoever you go in on. If you are forced into a team fight, then an ideal fight looks like this. Your team positions like you're going to take a 5 vs 5, but SEJUANI tries to be out of vision. Throwing ult over a wall, you follow up with your QW on a priority target, killing them before the fight starts, again leading to a 5 vs 4, which your team can win. Your job is now done. Follow at a safe range, continuing to DPS where possible. Grape's combos are by far the most important part of this playstyle, so listen up. On AP SEJUANI, it's vital you land your ultimate at over 400 range. This ability does more damage and stuns for longer if it hits after travelling this far, and this lets you do the one-shot combos. Without this, you'll stun an enemy, but the damage will feel really low, and you'll leave a comment like, I tried this, went 0-10, could never one-shot anyone, Grape is a liar, that kind of thing. So the full combo: Q, W, auto twice to set up your E, stun with E, move back slightly to the 400 range, R, rocket belt, and auto attack to death, dropping ignite if needed. The way Grape ensures his ult is always 400 range is using the W. If your distance from the target is 3/4 of your W length, it will do the extra damage. Another way to find this 400 range, which is a bit easier, is to use your E stun range. If the enemies are near or on the edge, the extra damage will go through. Use your E stun right before your ult anyway, so this circle should really help. The fastest kill combo is this: ult someone over a wall, QW. This gives enemies very little reaction time as your ult lands at a similar time to your Q, fully CCing them. But there is an even better combo Grape's invented. the no counterplay combo. Ult, then wait for it to travel. As it's about to hit, flash QW. Delaying like this makes sure your ult is cast from the first spot you're in for maximum damage, and then your Q hits just as it lands. Again, full chain CCing the enemy to death. Throughout the whole game, Grape is doing a ton of special mechanics on Sejuani. You can cast W and wait till the last 2.5 seconds before it goes off, and then flash to redirect the damage and surprise the enemy. They won't be able to dodge it as the indicator is far away until you flash. It's very useful if someone's low health under their tower as they won't expect it. At rank 4, your W cooldown is 4.6 seconds, and your E passive lasts for 5 seconds. This means you can walk up and use W on someone, wait for it to come back up, and then W them again to get your E off without ever being in any danger. This is very important against melee champions like Set, because you're in no danger going for this combo, and they can't react with anything while they're stunned. Your W and R can be cast during your Q dash, making Sejuani feel very smooth to play, but it also gives you even faster full burst damage, because you're using multiple abilities at once. There's even one secret way to guarantee your ult will hit. Throw ult and instantly Q flash. This keeps enemies knocked up until your ult lands, CCing them and then hitting them with a huge damage. It's a great combo to pick off a fed AD carry that's always trying to dodge your ult. I normally talk about the late game of a champion, but AP Sejuani's late game is all about her ult landing. If it lands, she gets a kill and can win a fight. If it misses, she is just a squishy, useless bore. Try to avoid going to late game. You want to continuously cause chaos, getting kills all around the map, not letting enemies group, and forcing the game to end earlier. For matchups, Grape gave me way too much information to fit in a video, so I'll simplify it, and post the full information on my Twitter. Sejuani has lots of easy matchups, and lots of hard matchups. There is not much in between. The easy matchups, Annie, Echo, Heimerdinger, Jace, Kassadin, Katarina, Kayle, Lysandra, Kiana, Seraphine, Talon, Yasuo, and Yone. These are all champions that are vulnerable to your burst. If the Sejuani plays it correctly, they have no ability to dodge or reduce the damage at all. The harder matchups are stuff like Ahri, Akali, Anivia, Brand, Diana, Fizz, Irelia, Lucian, Malzahar, Sylas, Tristana, Victor, Viego. Yes, this is a lot of champions, but remember they are not unwinnable. Most of them win by having lots of poke, which is always good into melee champions like Sejuani, so you need to get through early levels with some farm, and you start one-shotting them later on. Others have the ability to dodge your ult or burst combo, so they're even bigger counters, but they're still winnable if you can bait out these abilities. Every single matchup is winnable even in Master. The element of surprise is way more important than a champion matchup, which is why he kills so often in 1v1 matchups that he thinks are bad. I didn't mention LeBlanc, which is actually his permaban, not because she's hard to beat, but because she's really hard to kill, so Grape is never able to get an advantage mid lane. For summoners, Grape always takes Flash Ignite. Ignite is needed for early game damage, but it gets less important later on. Here's his skill order, maxing W first for the wave clear, and E last as the damage is least important. His build is very simple. Start Doran's Ring or Dark Seal, depending on how confident you are in that matchup. Dark Seal is often worth the risk on snowballing one-shot champions. Once they get ahead, the game is so easy. Any play you make becomes good. First item, Rocket Belt, get Sorcerer Shoes for extra magic pen, Horizon Focus next, into Cosmic Drive or Void Staff. Get Void Staff first against tanks, or Cosmic Drive against squishies for more cooldown reduction. He ends up getting both items anyway. His final item is Rabadon's, but you really shouldn't need it if you're winning the game fast enough. His best runes are this page with Electrocute for trades in lane and more burst damage. Secondary is Transcendence for more ultimates. Grape has a Twitch stream, so go check him out and wish him luck in his current climb to Grandmaster. Thanks again to Mobalytics for sponsoring the video. I could not spend as long as I do making these videos without the sponsors, so please give them a try using the link in the description. It helps me a ton.